confidently, you don't play timidly. And that is a trap. It is a trench that we've seen numerous teams, numerous players fall into today where they play triple supports or something like that. It doesn't really pack a punch, it's just way too safe. For the sake of Rival Esports, on the verge of being reverse swept. For their sake, hopefully that doesn't happen to them. At least they're heading into knockout. I feel like every single set 5 here in VSC, we see it go to knockout, and it's always a total nail-biter. But it's going to slow down the momentum. Toxic Lotus are going to have to take the same breather as Rival Esports.
We talked about the Miko on Heist.
Yeah.
Right? Toxic Lotus also played it on Bell's Rock in map 5 against Rival Esports last time they played.
And went to double match point.
And this time their first pick, and Miko's open. All of those things lining up. It was Gray and Jaeyong, mixed in with it, so it wasn't like any sort of weird kit cheese combined with it. But that's an option, right? Miko is not just an objective killer. He's not just intended to bring that star power in and go after the safe. They do not first pick it though, but Gray was a key component of their setup. And on Bell's Rock, obviously, the ability to take your opponents by surprise, to turn up in the middle of nowhere and to do so with a hypercharged shield is really potent. It's a strong first pick that doesn't quite imply that Toxic Lotus are planning to go back to the well of the Miko strategy. I don't know if they're trying to bait something out of Rival here, but they've got to be mindful of the monkey magic waiting in the wings.
I think they're absolutely trying to mess with Rival Esports' head. You have one conversation with Star Dragon, the man behind all these drafts, and it's the only thing he wants to talk about is Brawl Stars. In drafts, I mean, this is a guy with a sole focus. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
All right, talk to me about the Doug pick, man.
Is it Janet? Are they going to try a Doug Janet cheese? I mean, look, we got a couple more picks. Doug is going to be able to stay alive for an extended period. He has a lot of survivability. He, of course, as of several months ago, is going to be charging super and hypercharge by receiving damage and, of course, by healing himself and his teammates. So that's a major change for the guy. Ruffs. So they're going to be playing around the Doug hypercharge.
Is this like a field promotion, Ruffs? Are they trying to play for a really long round, a late game where they're unkillable and then survive the gas by using invulnerability frames?
Could be. It all comes down to what Toxic Lotus choose next. And this is an advantage that Rival Esports have. They have that last pick. They don't need to, worry about a thrower final selection. Toxic Lotus decide to go for that here, then that's a really easy decision. Colonel F's breaks walls. Rival Esports are now safeguarded against one of the most difficult things to deal with in competitive Brawl Stars, an uncountered thrower. They have a huge advantage right here. Toxic Lotus, I think, are still trying to get in their heads.
I think they dug insurance against Miko's assassination potential.
That's a good shout. Yeah, I mean, very good shout.
Toxic Miko's pretty, all in sometimes if that super's not available. And being denied a knockout after committing so much to the fight leaves Miko looking a little bit vulnerable if that doesn't work. Also, Terry can heal in between those Miko jumps. Hypercharge also allows Terry's teammate affected by his super to also emanate that same ring of damage around them, and that can overlap and double up, and it can be really nasty if you're grouped. So here's Cordelis to round out the draft. There's a lot at play here, but crucially, Doug cannot use his super in the Shadow Realm, so that revival aspect will be denied if Tok can hit him with super.
Cordelius is played for one main reason. It's because there is a single brawler on the enemy side that you want to counter 100% of the time. And you charge that super and hypercharge for free within a radius. If it's something that you can get up close to behind a wall, then you're even safer. Buster, final selection from Rival Esports. They fully intend on staying close together.
Yeah, playing for the late game.
Yeah, it's also one of the biggest counters to Rico on this map. Rico's an absolute classic on this map. He is just one of the best mids when uncountered. And then you see Buster come in as a classic Rico counter.
It's going to be field promotion, Ruff, surely. They don't want the wall break.
Yeah, well, and see, here's the other major hazard is that 100% here, Gray is going to be running the walking cane. He'll be breaking down those walls. And that's a major concern for Rival.
Here we go, folks. It all comes down to this. A set 5 again between Rival Esports and Toxic Lotus. A reverse sweep attempt again for our mainland China #1 team. And Rival Esports are going for a very compact, late-game focused comp that has invulnerability, that has reflective projectiles, and it has a consistent field promotion, maxed health increase over time. Well, they don't have that, actually.
No, they decided not to. They decided they're going to go for wall break. Very peculiar. They seem to be prioritizing nullifying Tok because he is so powerful here. As a Rico, you don't want to let all of that wall break go to the enemy side. You can see immediately Buster fires up that shield as soon as Talk super comes in. But Talk is actually chained another, and Terry doesn't have his super. Is this Talk's moment? He's going to try and heal up some more HP before going for it again. But you'll see that Terry has the hypercharge.
Oh!
Whoa! Little return to Cinder over here. Engine and O, the two remaining members. The most he can do here is get some hypercharge and super for the next round.
They're done.
This one's cooked.
That montage was so clutch. Hypercharge montage from Buster. It's 360 degrees of projectile reflex. And I don't think the Rico was ready for that at all.
No.
Taken down by your own damage. That is brutal stuff. It's going to get in the head. Toxic Lotus has now got to be aware.
Once again, it's the biggest reason that you run Buster into Rico's, that you can reflect those supers. And when you're permitted to stay close together, oh, later. Oh, that's bad. But when he gets baited out, surely that means Todd can get a super soon and punish them for that. You'll also see that IC is able to heal him, of course. He's got some invincibility hot dogs. Here comes the hypercharge forward. An absolute laser beam from Talk. Terry's on low HP and taken down, but O didn't time it correctly. Terry still falls. O has that hypercharge to further punish this 3v2.
IC's, the montage there wasn't enough, unfortunately, to cover the damage that came in, and so Toxic Lotus this time playing around that Buster super quite effectively, and happy just to try and burst through the Doug super. They know it's going to come out. They know there will be a res. They're ready to fight through it. Great recovery and a good bounce back. I don't think you're going to trick Toxic Lotus twice with that trick.
No, not quite. So Rival Esports need to change course at the moment. They're staying way further back, keeping away from Engine, who they know they can outrange. Trying to stay away from his hypercharge super. Here it comes. Mameshi isolated as a prime target. Engine takes him down. Now it's time for IC and Terry to move. They have to get some kind of kill if they even hope of winning this. Talk only barely hangs on by a shred. Rival Esports know that they've got to be cooked now. They've at least got some survivability with IC. Terry hooked through the wall. Looks good for Toxic Lotus, but it's only more value for O. Quickly healed up by IC. 2v3, almost unwinnable here.
Hypercharge for Terry. This is going to give you map control. Toxic Lotus, they're not going to shoot into it. There's a super available now for the Doug. Terry can be brought back into the game if there's any concern about him being picked off. But Toxic Lotus the spread. There's the super in from Tok. It's Terry now with IC being pressed back into the game, but the walking cake came out a little bit too early. There's OU, pressured down. IC in his direction. Dimensional door used by OU to get clear, and it's on Terry. Another res. IC's back in the game. The montage covers Tok's damage over, and now Engine is all alone. Has the super at the least, but knows as the gas comes in, he is extremely unfavored for the round. Terry has super to deny the damage, and into the gas he wades. What a round from Rival Esports.
An unreal comeback from Rival in a 2v3 with two short-range brawlers. Even still, Toxic Lotus, to watch yourself lose into that. Oh, your confidence has to be down the gutter right now. It's one more game for Rival Esports to get revenge on Toxic Lotus. This is for sending us to the lower part of the group. We are going to day number 3, but only if they can secure this victory.
Map yet to be opened up by OU. Rival still able to play inside that small hollow. Montage views cancelled out pretty quickly though, as Engine jumps away. The damage coming his way a little bit more than he would have liked to have seen. Mameshi also low. Multiple launcher takes IC very low. That's going to be a super now forced out of the Doug. Terry a little bit low sandbags. Come up and Engine gets taken down. Montage, not enough. Brought back into the game, and there's a super from Tok that takes IC low yet again. They're picked off the Doug, and the rest is easy. Important round take for Toxic Lotus. Proof of concept for the comp as well.
Tok knew exactly what to do there as Rico. Now finally the wall break comes through, and he won't be able to pull that little slick trick anymore. He managed to get a super before Terry had a super of his own, and it was just no good. Here comes the montage once more. Little reflected damage over to Engine, but nothing too major. You'll notice that IC has the hypercharge and the super. It can be absolutely massive. Mameshi, of course, is prioritizing survival here. He wants to take this long-range matchup versus Engine. And Engine is just trying to keep him at bay. He is a deterrent, but it's nothing more than that. No, not until the poison closes in, or until Rival Esports are forced into an uncomfortable situation where they have to move in close range.
Terry's going to be healed through most of this incidental damage. He's still waiting for just the right moment to pop that montage, likely when Tok is super active. Won't be able to do too much about the damage coming back at him. Here's Engine trying to circle around. It's a montage that extends outside the realm of the boxes. Mameshi trying to play a loose in and get some damage, but IC's been dragged out of the Shadow Realm and can't super to stay alive. He's got to run away from Engine. Eventually, he re-emerges, taken down. No super to keep alive, and Toxic Lotus are going to make this one awful interesting. Double match point all the way to the death. They will fight.
Double match point. A rematch, and it goes down just the same way as last time. it has to be a reverse sweep for Toxic Lotus to have a chance at a postseason. Rival Esports' journey could end here just as well. And what do they adjust? Well, Terry's going to go on the right side. He's not even focused on moving over to the left.
Interesting off angle.
Yes. Talk decided he was going to take a more left-sided approach in the first game. It didn't work out well for him. He managed to get his super really early on in game number 2. Terry now rotates over to the left side, hopefully getting a super. Talk's got to be close to that super as well. So Terry needs it right now.
This is the window. IC does not have that revival super available. Terry, though, of course, builds Montage from playing close to teammates, so that is a given in this scenario. Engine keeping a respectful distance from these projectiles. Terry would love to catch him out. Not sure if he's got slow-mo replay or not, because he's not been hitting all that frequently. But Cordelius dancing outside of his range.
Terry would love to snag this Cordelius. Oh, it's so tempting. And it's actually fine for Colonel Ruffs. In fact, they're all going to push forward right now. IC has the ability to res someone if desired. It's not going to be a high priority right now. Engine snags that Realm onto Terry. A TP over from OU, not quite in. And he's on low HP. Terry hopes to take advantage of this as he pops out of the round.
Sandbag.
Slow-mo replay. Sandbags blocking out. IC and Terry for the final shot. It's one more round.
Supers used by Rival Esports, though, to guarantee the round. Toxic Lotus also don't bring any into this. They'll head forward. The map now fully opened up. Rival don't mind that too much because they can limit the Rico's effectiveness and create cover with those sandbags. Hypercharge super ready for Terry. That means Rival can step into some map control at a whim.
Terry reflecting some of those projectiles on the left side. It leaves Talk quite low on HP, only temporarily bruised. He's still working on getting that next hypercharge. It's going to be a game-winning condition. He can get it before Terry has the super. That is what they need more than anything else. But Terry, of course, gets the hypercharge. The long pull out of a Meshi. It's time for Rival to move. Terry knows he's popped that shield, but it's to no avail. The most he can do now is farm one up for the next round, unless he and IC do exactly what they did in the last game.
TL want to save supers, but they got to respect the damage that this Rival comp can do, especially when the gas starts to close in. So it's slow and steady. It's careful gameplay. Terry in the Shadow Realm right now, and IC alone outside of it. Gas is starting to emerge. Terry would love to build a super, and in he goes. Damage on top, catches him with the slow-mo replay. Now the Montage is active. The 3v2 is now a 2v2, and IC's going to come forward. Engine into the gas, but the tick damage is going to be a problem. Res here for the Doug. IC is back in the game, but Terry is low, and OU is the last one standing. 1k HP is all that stood between them and departure from this tournament. Let's do it again, one last time.
Your last chance at the last chance qualifier. Everyone has one single life. You better make it count. That's a hypercharge. Form a Meshi. Cycle down on the bottom is Talk Super. Hypercharge style doesn't do anything. It's completely blocked by the Buster. Engine has the ability to cancel someone else, send them briefly to the Shadow Realm so that OU and Talk can pounce, but no, they don't have enough HP to jump in just now. Talk's low. This will be the moment for Rival Esports to close in and punish him in a pinch.
Supply drop, Montage ready. IC, of course, with the res super. Talk had already used that hypercharge earlier and had it counted out by Buster's Montage. Has to respect it a second time, even if it's not the hypercharge variety. Rival use it to command some map control, but much of that now is dissipated. Toxic Lotus is sitting on 3 supers, ready for their last gasp, but Talk gets caught out quickly, has the multiple launcher away, it's going to be Engine a little bit low. IC runs him down, Montage active, and OU and Talk are forced to the back of the map. IC still has a res, OU trying to reposition, but he of course triggers that super from Doug. It's on OU, run Grey against the world, and Rival Esports